Political conversations in 2020 were unsurprisingly dominated by the presidential race. But the Libertarian Party quietly had one of its best years ever, and much of that support occurred right here in Indiana. Mitch Legan reports on the party's work to keep the momentum rolling in the 2020s.
Evan McMahon's been working toward this moment for a decade.
I mean, we're talking at least 20 or 30 campaigns that I've been directly involved in on the senior level, either as a campaign manager or, to that caliber.
McMahon started volunteering with Indiana Libertarians in 2010. Now, he's one of the party's top campaign experts and helped oversee the best statewide finish for a Libertarian in the state's history.
My name's Donald Rainwater, and I'm running for governor of the state of Indiana. I'm running because I believe that you know best how to make the decisions for you and your family.
Rainwater's message of personal responsibility and individual liberties resonated in the solidly conservative state, and he secured the country's second-best finish ever for a Libertarian candidate for governor with 11% of the vote.
I don't know if you believe we're going to win this thing, but I believe we're going to win this thing.
The party's platform of limited government power caught on with Hoosiers, who thought the governor was overstepping his authority with his coronavirus emergency mandates.
Tomorrow I will sign an executive order that will mandate that Hoosiers wear face coverings during specific times and in specific places.
We live in a constitutional republic where we should tell government what we want, not the other way around.
Donald Rainwater didn't win the gubernatorial race, but gosh, if he did not have an incredible turnout that was, for a loss, essentially a victory for the Libertarian Party. They have to be able to leverage that and keep that message going with voters.
That's McMahon's focus now, capitalizing on that groundswell of support. But will that be possible years from now, when the pandemic is hopefully a distant memory?
My first reaction was, this is just in response to the mask mandates. The anger that they feel towards the establishment, who have continued to violate the things that they said they believed in, isn't going to go away.
So he's spending 14 hours a day making calls, pouring through election data, and organizing party affiliates in counties that were previously lacking. And it seems to be paying off. There was so much interest in organizing that the party virtually held its first ever affiliation day back in December.
We've just appointed you to organize your first meeting, get people involved. And at the meeting, you'll accept or adopt your local bylaws.
25 of the state's 92 counties had active Libertarian parties. And with McMahon's work, things are trending toward having affiliates in half of counties by February. In his perfect world, there will be active parties in every county by the end of the year.
If you're toiling in the wilderness in a minor party and you see this kind of progress, it's very, very promising.
Party leadership feels a strong showing in the 2022 Secretary of State election will put them in the position to make a real run at the legislature or a statewide office by the end of the decade. But experts like Diane say the party could have more success influencing future policy.
Maybe to get the other parties or the other candidates to shift or move their platforms in some ways. And typically that's what happens. If there's a third party that's really promising and they're running on a set of issues that are all of a sudden very appealing to the public.
And that could happen sooner than one might think. The General Assembly is already discussing bills to limit the governor's emergency powers. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Mitch Legan.